We have, yes, Exosister, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the first look at this. We have, oh no, Spright, yeah. And then, of course, some other top metagame contenders that'll shake up the meta for you guys today. I think 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder here. Hoo-wee, ladies and gentlemen. I'm finally able to see what some new Exosisters can do. Yes, that's right. That is Dimension Shifter here doing its job. I guess you really do love to see like the power that this card brings to the dinner table here. Ah, man, so many people are going to want this card banned. So this is the first place Exosister list from Andrew Leo here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Triple copies of Dimension Shifter, best new era card. We have triple copies of Ellis. One copy of Irene. Triple copies of Martha. We have triple Sophie. And triple copies of Stella. And then we have two Dark Roller No More. Two copies of Armament. One copy of Carpe Diem. Triple copies of Pax, one Necro Valley, actually. It's definitely very interesting, the fact that, like, an Exosister deck chose to play this card. Then we have one Talents, then we have triple copies of Returnia, triple copies of Vadius, triple Imperm, and two copies of Solemn Strike here. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Gigantic Spright so that you can do your job with it. Alright, we have triple copies of Magnifica, triple Mikhails, triple copies of Capit Steel, one Jabrine, one Osophiel, one Downard, one Zeus, and one copy of Venentis. And then, of course, triple Ghost Reaper and laugh at your opponent. We have one Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm, triple Anti-Spell Fragrance, triple Evenly Matched, and two copies of Non-Fusion Area here, wrapping up this first place beautiful finish. And like I said, obviously, like, seeing like the diversity in terms of things here, like for the tech slots here, like between these four, really proves that there's a lot of deck building and diversity that you'll be able to capitalize on in this format just to have maximum results. I think that's a good thing here. Next up, we got some branded tier elements for you guys. Oh boy. I've seen, this is now one of many variants that have started to pop up on the internet. I know a lot of people looked at like the branded tier elements list very early on in the OCG, where they kind of started to cut this stuff. Obviously, like, the OCG is much further ahead in terms of development for their game than we are. So that's just things to consider for 500 here. So we have one Ablydium, two copies of Aluber, two copies of Tragedy, one Dramaturgia, surprised to see that's back, two Edgem Chain, two Fallen of Albaz, we have one Myru, two copies of Reno Heart, one Shaylin, triple copies of Branded Fusion, two Branded in Red, triple Branded Opening, with one Called by the Grave, triple copies of Dark Roller No More, one Foolish Burrow, triple copies of Forbidden Droplets, and then we have two copies of Patchwork, triple copies of Fusion Deployment, one Instant Fusion, two copies of Poly, triple Super Poly, one copy of Banishment, and one Meta Noise. Down here in the extra deck, we have one copy of Kitagalos, one copy of Kaleido Heart, one copy of the Starving Venom Dragon, one Dracos Tapelia, two Mirror Jades, one copy of Millennium Eyes, one Masquerade, one Lubellion, two Guardian Chimera, triple Albion, and one Alba Renitus. Our side deck here is two copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, one Nibiru, triple copies of Croissant Designator, triple Mystic Mine, two copies of Twin Twisters, triple Anti-Scam Fragrance, and one copy of Red Reboot here. Wrapping up your, once again, another interesting hot take for this deck. You know, no parallel Ruin Realms needed. You know, it just proves that, like, you can splash in this relatively small engine on more of a budget level. So if you spend all of your chicken tendies out here, you know, trying to build up Despia, well, go ahead and just patch this on into the existing deck, and you're literally good to go, ladies and gentlemen. So I think that that helps out quite a lot in terms of development. Math Mech Take 3 out of this week. Oh my gosh. And that is the Pit Knight here. So it's two effect monsters. When a monster this card points to activates its effect, quick effect, and you get one effect monster opponent controls till the end of this turn, changes attack to 0 and negate its effects. During the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was destroyed by battle card effect and you special summon this card. This to actually let you do some extra battle damage. Just kidding. If we were doing like final Sigma plays in here, this would be a little bit better. This particular build's focusing more on the extra deck aspect of things with like link summoning instead of, you know, the other plays that you've seen this deck do with like the built-in final Sigma. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of DD Craw, triple copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, triple copies of Math and Mech Edition, triple copies of Circular. We have 2 Diameter, 2 copies of Sigma with triple Subtraction. We have triple copies of Nibiru, triple copies of Parallel Exceed, triple copies of Signet Mining, 1 Mathemech Equation, 2 Pot of Desires, triple copies of Infinite Permanence. We have 1 Induction again. Man, 500 boost is like pretty solid, but the thing you care about is the card popping here. And then we have 2 Super Factorial here. Then we have 1 Update Jammer, the 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Splash Mage, 1 Pit Knight, and then we have 1 Link Disciple, 1 Link Devotee, 1 Lingariba, 1 Unicorn with 1 IP, 1 Wit Kid, 1 Apo, 1 Access Code, then only 1 Laplace and 2 Alimbertians. Then our side deck here, we have 2 copies of Alpha, the Master of Beast, triple Cosmic Cyclone, triple copies of Dark Ruler, 1 Feather Duster, triple Mystic Mine, and then triple copies of Dimensional Barrier here, wrapping up some much different, it doesn't get much different than all these other Mathemech lists. If you've learned anything watching these Mathemech decks this week, you really will get the chance to see a lot of different diversity in terms of like the builds, and that's good. Alright, next up we have, yes ladies and gentlemen, more Dinomorphia. I know a lot of people are like kind of sick of like the same meta, so you can go ahead and you can dust off some of your fun here. And you can go back to playing the same old meta that you're playing here. Now the player can special summon monsters with the same level as those they control. And then the player can special summon monsters with the same rank that they control. So no fun allowed for those pesky level 2 decks out here as they try to capitalize and build off of the field. Wow, we're playing triple Intrusion too. Your life points must be lower than your opponent's to activate this card. Destroy 1 card your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to their life points. Or special summon 1 monster from your graveyard with an attack less than or equal to the life points of difference. Well, this is just going to get me free value every single time that they try to do something. So that's freaking hilarious to me. Alright, so we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Diplos, triple copies of Therizia, and 2 copies of Ghost Ogre here. Then we have 1 Called by the Grave, triple Pot of Duality, 1 Alert, 2 copies of Brute, triple copies of Domain, triple copies of Frenzy with 1 Sonic, triple copies of the Ferret Flames, 2 copies of the Imprudent Intrusion, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, triple Solemn Judgment, triple Solemn Steerike, and then 2 Trap Tricks. And then we have 1 Dahark, 1 Access Code, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Logia with 1 Dolka, 1 Zeus, 1 Psyche Punisher, 2 Stealth Greena, triple Rexstrom with triple copies of Kengrina. Side deck here we have 2 DD Crows, 2 Droll Lockbirds, 2 Nibiru's, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, triple in the band plays on, triple evenly matched, and 2 copies of the Heavy Storm Duster. Bada bing, bada boom. Wrapping up your Dinomorphia list. This is, you know, we're always on like Ferret Flames, but nobody ever asks how the Impudent Intrusion actually is going for you guys today. And we have one last list here for you guys, and it is none other than Spright. I've liked seeing like all the ideas that Spright players kind of bringing to the table here, and it's been kind of nice to see Dupe Frog here getting some mileage within this deck. Just as like I've noticed it's becoming more of like a thing here, so you can just beam this on out during the standby phase. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, triple copies of Craw. We have 1 Dupe Frog, triple copies of Nibiru, triple copies of Gamma. I do think the Gamma will honestly make a more permanent splash because, I mean, it being level 2 is really good. We have 1 Ronin Totem, triple Spright Blue, 1 Carrot, triple Spright Jet, triple copies of Spright Red. Holy moly. We have triple copies of Swap Frog, 1 Driver, triple copies of the Emergency Teleport, 2 Desires, 2 Smashers, triple Starter, and then we have triple copies of Infinite Permanence here, wrapping up your main deck. Then down here we have 2 Spright Elf, 1 Owl Mirage, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Dahark, 1 Hulk, 1 Totally Awesome, 1 Sky Cavalry, and we have 1 Soul Sweeper, 1 Djinn Buster, 2 Gigantic Spright, 1 Downer Magician, 1 Zeus, and 1 Cat Shark. That is everything that we have in terms of the deck profiles for everything that I have seen out of this week. Obviously, as we head on into regional season here, you're going to see so many changing doors, so many more interesting decks to come. And I will say, it's going to be quite an interesting journey out here as players step up and test out the new things. So what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.